I'm going to give it a minute. I've been crocheting and staying warm. I'm in a huge baggy clothes today. It has been whiteout conditions here a lot of the day, and it's been a icky day here. A lot is still just pouring down the snow, but it has been almost blizzard conditions. If the wind was not blowing so much, we probably would have had a lot more snow. I know that last night they put a winter warning on like the Mount LeConte in North Carolina and extreme East Tennessee side of the mountains, but I did not think it was going to get bad around us. I really thought it was going to just cling to the really high spots in the middle, and it just kind of split. And so part of it stuck to the plateau. And so the stuff that is waved down, instead of predominantly kind of staying up until it hits the North Carolina ridge, it's hit the plateau and dropped, and hit the North Carolina ridge and dropped. And so we've had so much snow today, whiteout conditions, lots of wrecks. Of course, we don't have flat roads here, so when it snows, um, it's difficult to travel in the hills and hollers on icy roads with the wind blowing and it being so cold. It's blistering the roads really quickly. But I wanted to come on really quick and just show you and put this up for the lady that ordered this. If Janae's watching, um, the frog should be there or be getting there really soon. So let me know when it gets there. I've got another frog to do that a lady had a really awesome, I think it was a lady. I can't remember. I had so many people email me, had a really awesome idea, and I'm fixing to start it. I've got to finish a dream catcher, and then I'm going to start on this really funny idea for this next frog. And I can't take credit for it all because it was this person's idea, and so I'll try to get the name correctly, the first name. And when I make it and start showing it to you all, I will show you all. It's hilarious. But this thing, I started on Sabrina's and it was just turning out ginormous. So I decided I was going to go down 2 hook sizes for the one that the lady ordered because it's just giant, and it's still giant. This is his head. This is his body. This is his tail. This thing is a good 2.5 foot long at least plus. It's a snuggler, so only its head and its paws and the very tip of its tail is stuffed. I did embroidered eyes just because it looked better. I'm gonna go back and just do a little finishing stuff on them. Um, this thing is gigantic though. These ears are gigantic, but this thing is just huge. It just keeps going. So this is why I said I'd only make one more. Now I've got to lint roll the crap out of them because it's a black yarn and it's black blanket yarn. So everything wants to stick to him right now. And where I've had to sew, the polyfill is stuck to him, or I pulled the polyfill out sewing him. But he's very cute. So this is Bjorn, who will be going to his adoptive home. Yeah, Bjorn was pain in the butt to crochet, right? Bjorn, yes, you were. But he absolutely was a huge project. I've got a little bit more work to do on the eyes. I've got the nose completely done, but I'm going to do a little bit more work on the eyes. And I've pulled polyfill out where I've been sewing on him. But I'm just amazed. And this is down 2 hook sizes from Sabrina's, because Sabrina's was so big you couldn't handle him. So look how big, look how big, look how big, look how big. No, this is why I said I'm only doing one. This is a lot of yarn, and when it's burnout blanket yarn, it's very, very expensive. Bjorn says hi. He says hi. It's a blizzard here today. He's been a very good finish craft to work on while it's been snowing. It's been snowmageddon here today. This internet's been weird the last several days, so he did turn out. I was very tickled with how it turned out. The pattern is really well written and really easy to follow, and he is terribly cute. It just a lot of yarn and a lot of Bjorn. And Sabrina's is bigger. Okay, so and it was just it's too cumbersome. I was just like, this is too cumbersome, and so I sized down a hook, 2 sizes, a hook and a half. enough, and it was just enough to make it a little bit more tolerable to handle them and stuff. So I really prefer this size a lot better than that. The one Sabrina's was just gigantic. It was just too much. So I'm really tickled with him. I am seriously thinking about making him a beanie. I don't know. I've got to finish that dream catcher, and then I've got the other frog that's going to be so funny that y'all are going to crack up about. It's so funny. And I want to get all that started. And then I've got stuff I've got to do for my grandbabies for Christmas. But I'm really thinking he needs a beanie. So I know we'll see what I get into tonight. I'll probably make a beanie. Yeah, probably make a beanie. I really like his eyes though. I'm going to do a little bit more detail work on him. But I really like his eyes. And it's so much cuter than the blister eyes, the sinker eyes. I'm feeling so much better today. Yesterday, like the world hit me. And the weather coming in and the ridges of the barometric pressure, I was just not. The last few days have been really hard. I just wasn't feeling well. And I was over there snorting. And today, it's since the weather is here and it's settled, I've done a lot better. But I don't particularly care for winter, and I don't like winter when it's white out winters. Like we had a really cold, dry winter last year, and that hurt, but I got okay once we were in it. And if we can have more like the wet snows this year, it's easier for me because the dry snows really hurt me. But it looks like it's going to be another cold winter. I know, same. What did you do? Did you suck something up your gullet? She likes the heater with the fake flame. She's like, turn it back on. It's not really been super cold here. I mean, our house is David built most of it, so it's really well insulated. And it's going to be mid 40s tomorrow, and then up to 60 again Wednesday. And so I was like, listen, I'm not this first really bad snow dip. You know, it's going to hurt me more than anything. And if you hear stuff moving, it's on the front porch, the wind. And I said, I'm just going to crank the heater and not burn any wood this time. And David said, that's fine. That's fine. I said, because I'm going to be hurting enough with the weather shifting this first really bad dip. I don't want to have to deal with the stove and everything else too on top of that. And he was like, that's fine. So the house has been fine. Every time when the wind blows a little bit, the furnace might kick on a time or two more than I really want it to, but it's been fine. And then in the evening when I make dinner, I just make a round of biscuits or put a cake in because David loves that anyway. And it just kind of gets the house ready for the nighttime to settle and just be a little bit cozier. But I leave on a crock pot on high with an open lid with water, cinnamon, cloves, and nutmeg in it just to keep moisture in the air because the dryness in winter air really bothers me too. So it's not been a super bad day. Now, have I really challenged myself? No, I've done some laundry, swept, crocheted, done some dishes. But I've been much more productive than I was yesterday. Yesterday was a don't even look at me day. I did not do anything. Oh, about push a button. I have the only dinosaurs I have done are the ones that I've done for my grandbabies. And I have some patterns, but I've just not done a lot of dinosaurs. I normally stick to wildlife or specific things that friends want. You hear the wind? Woo, woo, woo. It's white out again outside. It's just gray mist out there. It's just gray sheet. I told David, I said, Lord, I said, when do we move to Kansas? I said, we're going to have to put a rope from the fur shed to the house so you can find your way home. And he just laughed. Of course, he went and checked traps this morning and had 3 or 4 catches. He just left a few traps out and went and checked them. And it hadn't snowed a whole lot in that side of the county this morning, but boy, it has sure kicked in here lately. A lot. So it's been pretty bad. I know that the Tennessee I-40 down around Cookville has had some really bad whiteouts, and they put up like road advisories on the radio and stuff. So of course we're like an hour from that. We're like an hour from either interstate, really, honestly, in the middle of nowhere. But anyway, this is how the Bjorn turned out for the lady that wanted it. I've got to do a little bit more embroidery on his eyes to clean his eyes up. But it is a snuggler, so only his tips of his paws, tips of his tail, and his head are done. But he's giant. And I went down like 1.5, 2 hook sizes because Sabrina's was just too, it was just too much. It was too hard to handle. My favorite animal, oh gosh. I mean, I'm gonna have to go with horse because I was raised in horse barns. But my favorite specific horse is either the German Trakehner, because there's a lot of nuanced genetic breeding oopsie daisies that we learn from in that breed, or the Lipizzaner for the same reason, because we learned a lot about overbreeding and like they bred an entire like tendon and bone out of the Lipizzaners and did not mean to, and almost crippled the entire breed and lost like a third or more. Had to like wipe them out because they were deformed. Interesting, interesting. And those are the old horses that like the old people in the days of castles. They used to have the big Spanish kind of Andalusian looking things, but like part draft that would do all the moves and protect the people on their backs. They had turned them in basically into dance horses. And they had a really horrible breeding program and had messed up their genetics so poorly. And I always wanted to go see them, and Dad never would take me. And I never really understood why until I did my research. And I was like, oh, that's why he didn't want to support that. So David's been busy on the hog front. Um, around here, with even with like a lot of the people that get the SNAP benefits around here, there's not been a big hubbub because a lot of churches have just had donations, and they'll just fill totes and put the totes on the porch, and people will just drop by and pick them up. And like David, he's got a nuisance permit for hogs down on the farm, so he's just gone out and picked a few hogs off and been like, "Who needs a quarter?" And he'll just skin them out and carve them up and say, "Here you go." So we just kind of take care of each other around here, and he's been doing a lot of nuisance hog harvesting and helped a lot of people. It's not been a big hubbub around here at all. I know a lot of people are having fits, but around here it's business as usual, and we're so used to the government being um, two left feet that we just tend to keep going either way. I used to work with a lot of Pasafinos, and I call them souped up saddle horses. But I worked for two huge Pasafino stables in the area, and it seemed like my lot in life when I was working my way through college was Pasafino horses. And but I got to work with a lot of really expensive horses, and I got to see the repercussions of breeding programs from a young age on, and I got to watch the way that the breeds got screwed up because of it. And I watched gaited horses go from, like the strolling gym, well built farm horses that could plow the field and look pretty when you rode them, to then they wanted them tall and lanky and looking like a greyhound, and now they're back to a what I call a more of a ranchy, squat looking horse that has more than one job. And then you watched in the quarter horses and stock horses, they went from like the wimpy, really big powerhouse horses, and then they went to more lean horses. Then they went to cutting horses and really screwed up. Listen, I'm sure so the Zippo Pine Bar line screwed up a lot of back legs and a lot of quarter horses. So just, you can yell at me if you want to, but that's my view on it. Then they went back to what I call peanut pushers, was the nose on the ground and that really thin body again. I hate those quarter horses. I like a double butt. I like a ranch horse. Now they're going back to the ranch horse side. Not as big as the wimpy, the old stock, but they're getting some power back behind them for more of a working horse. And you just, you're getting as old as I am, and you've seen the waves of the people that have the money that breed the horses and kind of get to dictate, and you're like, wow, you really in just a few foals can see a huge difference. And the gaited horses went through a lot in the 80s though, because they about ruined them. I mean, they were just sickly looking, coming from what I was used to seeing with the old Midnight Suns and the big powerhouses from the 80s, like what Storm Clouds, Thunder Bay, and Prize Jubilee Star, and Prize Generator, and then you look at some of them from the 90s and early 2000s, and they're just really sickly, skinny, tall, icky looking things. But then you look at the old race breeds and the old warhorse breeds, like the Tricaners and the Lipizzaner, that hey, they did the same thing to the Tricaners and almost ruined those as well, the Lipizzaner as well. She sees me get on the internet and she's like, let me see what I can get into. No, you may not touch the crochet. You know the rules around here. She's got on her sweater. Let me put it up, and then you can sit with me. Let me put it up. She's got on her sweater. She is not amused at winter. She doesn't really care for winter. We don't like it. It can go away. She does like her wardrobe. She's very happy to have her wardrobe, yes. And she likes that I heat up her meals. Oh, I know. No, I'm not reclining. She wants me to recline so she can stretch out on me. But you can see the problems with, like, when they bred these little dogs and they kept getting the muzzle shorter and shorter. It wasn't because it was useful anymore for a breed-specific thing. It was because people wanted the weirdest little short-nosed thing. And so they have a lot of respiratory issues and a lot of digestive issues because people just wanted a short little face on a dog. And then you get some of the predispositions to issues like she has health-wise, and nobody wants her. And I'm like, yes, you created this. You should take care of it. So I end up with dogs that have health issues all the time. Only my blue heelers have ever been really healthy. And that's because my blue heelers were my working dogs. Say hi, everybody. Look, they're in here. Yeah, they're in there. Yeah, okay, yeah. Can you see them in there? No, don't kiss me. Do you want my arm? You just want to be cuddled? Okay. She's like, it's nap time. She's doing a lot better since her seizure last week. So I think me and her just really felt, I know you want to go to nap time. I know. Me and her just really feel the weather coming in. It's just not nice. Don't lick me. No, don't lick me. Don't lick me. We're working on that one. She already has Christmas presents put up. It's sad. What is it? Is that the wind? Do you hear the wind? I'm not reclining. She's pushing back because she wants me to recline so she can stretch out. I'm whipped by a dog, y'all. I'm whipped by a dog. Go on. So I'm going to go let her take a nap. I just wanted to update. I'm not going to touch it since I've touched her. Keep my crochet separate from the animal. But it's been a day. I got the kitty cat down. I'm going to do a little bit more work on its eyes. So if you ordered it, it's almost done. I can't remember the name. I've gone through so many names here lately. But it is winter here. Luna, get out of my craft thing. Luna, ain't. You better run your little honey back over here. She's like, excuse me, I'm sorry, what to do? Yeah, you're not getting in. This is when she gets nap time. She's like, but I'm not sleepy. And then she goes and does stuff like that to try to keep herself awake. And I'm like, toddler time, you get whippings. It's a no ma'am. Be a dog, no ma'am. Be a dog. You want to see it? All my dogs know this word. Be a dog, no ma'am. Be a dog. Be a dog. Nate. Be a dog, no ma'am. She's like, well, shoot. Now I'm going to get back in her good graces. Let's suck up. Let's suck up, y'all. Let's suck up. Yeah, you're a toddler. She's like, I'm not sleepy. I can do anything to keep myself awake. She knows how to push on my Lazy Susan and spin it, so I've had to take all my dishes out of my Lazy Susan because she jumps on it, pushes it, and spins it in the corner of my cabinets. My Lazy Susan is just a Luna toy at this point. It's not even funny. It's not even funny. The dog owns the house. And when I know. Oh my goodness. She's so needy. She's so needy. So needy. So needy. So needy. Oh my gosh, Luna. I swear. We're going to let her take a nap. We're going to let this next wave of snow go through, and we're going to get up and heat up the house later and make a nice dinner, aren't we? Yeah. But it's nap time now, too. We're keeping those seizures at bay, and we're on a very regimented nap schedule because we don't want to have another one of those when Mommy's on Dabumasan, do we? No, we don't. That was kind of a little scary the other night. It was very scary. So she's doing good, though, from her seizures. She's doing good. The next day after seizure is kind of reacclimating to everything. But as you can see, she's back to normal. She's getting about 2.5, 3 months in between each seizure. And it's a lot better. She's healthy and she's happy. In between them, it's just a 30, 45 second, what the crap? And then she's fine again. As you see, she's rotten. She's absolutely rotten to the core. All my dogs are rotten to the core. I know, you're loving on me. It's pathetic. I know. So she's begging for her nap, and if I don't let her have one, she's going to get into something to stay awake. She is 3 years old eternally. So I appreciate y'all wanting to check in, and I appreciate all the Etsy orders. David has been tickled. It's been fun. I've got to meet a lot of you through emails and Etsy messages to get specifics on stuff that you want. It's been so much fun, and it's kept me really busy during a time of year that normally sucks health wise, and so it's given me enough to focus on to kind of be like, oh yeah, the weather's bad too, but it's not been as prominent of an issue. So I appreciate it a whole bunch. It certainly helps. Every little bit has helped us help other people around us. So we appreciate it. You just don't know. And David is constantly harvesting, any kind of nuisance permit. Nothing he harvests goes to waste. And so first stuff that you don't eat the meat, it turns back into bait for coyotes and stuff. And the nuisance things that you can't eat, we share, we dole it out. And a lot of people here process their own meat, so you just quarter it up and hand it out. You just drive by and hand it out after you harvest it. Normally it's still warm from the field when you drop it off, and people are like, thank you very much. It's been, I think it's the last few weeks have been a blessing, seeing communities work together again and seeing people care about people. I know it's been unfortunate for a lot of families, but in my area, it's been a huge blessing to see people ask others and others be able to help. And it's not been a huge issue here. We eat out of the woods anyway, so it's, we don't get any benefits like that anyway, so it's not a big deal. But to be able to turn around and have people talking again going, hey, is your husband still hog hunting? Hey, is your husband still doing this? And being like, oh yeah, we've got leftover deer meat. Y'all need some deer meat. Those are the things. It's nice to see those discussions again and people being able to rely on each other again. So as you can see, Luna needs a nap. So I just wanted to go on here and share the crochet project. Now I'm going to have to change before I work on anything else. But Luna's going to take a nap, and then we're going to make some dinner. I just want to pop on and say howdy and we appreciations. And I am reading again in the book, so we will catch back up. But like I said, there's a girl that reads it for every chapter on there. She does have a heavy dialect. But if you look at The Invisible Rainbow, there is a young lady that reads it chapter by chapter. But we're going to get right back at it. And don't know, I haven't talked to anybody about doing any spots anywhere since Luna had that seizure the last time I was on the Boomathon. Probably just going to let them handle it for a while until I know she's good, and then I'll pop back on when they have a specific conversation I need to jump in on. But just, stay tuned to the channel. I know I've been slow the last few weeks. We've had the bonus grandbaby born, a lot of weather, a lot of health issues, a lot of stuff going on. Life has just been laughing real hard lately. But we certainly do appreciate you. David is tickled to death, and he's really enjoyed getting to talk to some of y'all in Etsy messages, and then he'll be like, I'll show this to Liz when I get home. And so he's enjoyed getting to chit chat with some of you too. So we really appreciate y'all. And if you're in the middle of the storm, watch out, because it's meaner than people say. The crags of the mountains are suffering right now. So take care of yourself, be careful on the roads, and make sure everybody you know and love is warm. And poor Luna is going to act like I'm horrible if I don't get her to nap soon. So appreciations. Don't forget to go subscribe to Sabrina's Fourth Wall and go to the Mind of Boomathon here on YouTube and Rumble. And let everybody know you're watching, you're learning, you're curious, and you're just asking questions, and stay that way. Okay, so we're going to go have a nap, aren't we? She's already half asleep. I'll talk to you later, guys. Bye. Say bye, Luna. Oh, I got to push the button. You got to give me, I'm going to go push the button. Oh, gosh, she's pitiful, y'all. She's pitiful. Are you pitiful?